needs to really be scared here.
Johnny!
You're still afraid.
I'm Jack Carey and this is First Frights, the show where we ask guests to talk about the very first film to scare them. Today, I'm talking with Katie Owen, presenter, DJ, and comedian.
Hello, thank you for having me.
And I just want to start off, Katie, by asking, do you like being scared?
So I do love, I love crime. I love horror. I find I enjoy watching, I don't enjoy watching gore, but all I'll watch is that kind of stuff. But it's funny because I'm the biggest shithouse going. I'm scared of most things in that kind of genre. So I don't know why I do it to myself, but yes, I do quite enjoy being scared, the thrill.
But you have some quite particular fears though. Is that fair in saying?
Yeah, they're pretty niche. Growing up, I was absolutely terrified, beyond terrified of E.T. Even saying his name, I detest him so much. It's the long finger and the crooked long finger and he's horrible. Mr. Blobby, E.T., mannequins.
Why particularly E.T. though?
So, if my mother's watching this now, this is because of you, okay? Growing up, she had this doll of E.T. and it was quite big and it was stiff. And I remember the long neck would kind of curl round and it had glass eyes. And
That's horrible.
She loved this doll growing up. So she was like, I'm going to pass it on to my daughter, who's also going to love this doll. I was like, absolutely not. So I remember my grandmother's attic. It was used to hang from the banister.
Yeah.
And because my mother was so determined to get me to love this doll, she used to put it on the end of my bed with the rest of my teddies in the middle of the night. So I'd wake up and be like, E.T.'s and my toy bunnies and stuff. But I'd wake up and see this E.T. doll that I had a massive abnormal phobia of. And I'd wake up and shit my pants. So
yeah.
In the end, I'm like, was she tormenting me or...
Some sick joke with your mum.
Some sick joke, but no, I didn't end up loving the doll. I hated him.
So what happened to the doll then?
She still got it. And I still detest it, kick it.
Have you watched the film since or before?
So my dad tried to take me to the cinema to watch it. Come on, I was like, fuck this, and left. I just detest him. I don't understand. I detest aliens. Yeah. I don't understand why you would see this thing and put it on your bike. Nah.
If you were Elliot in the film, then you wouldn't be taking him home.
Oh, no chance. I'd see him and I'd either boot him so hard he'd go back to his planet, or I'd just ignore him and leave him there. If you could help, but nah.
And then Mr. Blobby as well, you said?
Yeah, Mr. Blobby. There's a money box in Merthyr, still there, Merthyr Market, and when you put money in it, it goes and it's chained to the floor, and he's holding a baby Blobby, and it just looks like a wild beast. So that sparked the phobia of Mr. Blobby, and let's be honest, he is a creepy bastard.
he's always just kind of, from memory, I never watched the show, but he just comes into other shows, right? Like talk shows or whatever, or he's just
he's always there.
Comes on in.
Do you know what? If he was about nowadays, he'd be getting comments on TikTok, industry plant.
Industry plant, yeah.
And that's coming from a Nepo baby,
Yeah. He's got no real following.
He's got no real fan base. He's an industry plant. He is as well.
Yes. Well, that really kind of, because I wanted to chat to you about this as well, is similar to Mr. Blobby. One of my big fears growing up as a kid was mascots or people dressed up as, in school, you'd have someone would come in and they'd be dressed as a big crocodile, or you go see football and there'd be a mascot. And I was petrified, absolutely petrified. And then when I was a kid, my parents took me to Disneyland, which I think is terrible because that's immersion therapy for someone with a fear.
That's your Vietnam.
Yes, it was my Vietnam. Yeah, I get flashbacks now, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. And then the best bit is there's all these family photos. I went home recently, I was flicking through them, and it's literally just hostage videos of me just sat there next to Flick from The Bug's Life or Lilo and Stitch, and I'm just there please, holding a newspaper up. So yeah, honestly, even now I can't, if I'm walking around, so you go to a hockey game or a football game and a mascot comes in, nah.
Get chills.
Get out.
Have you been back since to Disneyland?
I have been back. I had to conquer the fear. yeah, I still can't get on with it. I mean, the funny thing about being a kid is that I had that weird thing of I really loved the characters. So I was like, I hate you and everything you are, but I want to have you, I want to have my photo taken with you. So it was this weird tension that you can see in these photos of this kid who's just like, I really, really want to be having a good time. But
bless you.
horrible.
They are creepy, mind.
They are creepy. And, you know, you like to get scared. You like true crime. What was your kind of first experience with horror?
I went through a really weird phase when I was younger where all I would watch was horror films from like the age of like 11 till 17. Then I started getting night terrors. And I was like, okay, there's a weird woman in my room with long dark hair. I think it's time to stop because you're giving yourself nightmares. So I've kind of forgotten a lot of the horror names. Like they've all amalgamated, was that the word? Yeah, into one blur. I remember this kind of storyline, but the one that sticks out for me that I first watched, and I kind of found, that's what kind of got me into it and gripped me, was the first Saw movie with that little puppet.
And what was that? You know, take me back. You know, what was that experience like? Did you watch it at the cinema? Did you watch it at home?
So I actually watched it in a sleepover with my friends, someone's birthday. And we used to put on horror films, you know, like when you're with your friends and you're a teenager and you're kind of acting cool, like, I'm not scared, this is fine. And I remember watching it, and it is, watching it back now in 2025, I think it was out in 2003, 2004, seeing the difference in quality of the kind of shots and the effects and the kind of the SFX effects, the gore kind of stuff is very different to nowadays, but it worked so well because the puppet, Jigsaw, his name is, the one who comes in on the bike. I saw him yesterday, actually.
Yeah, where were you yesterday?
I went to the Museum of Curiosities in Nottingham, and it's the most haunted museum in the UK, apparently. And anyway, I got a photo of mannequins as well, paid for my ticket, went in, mannequin of Robin Hood and Friar Tuck. And I was like,
That's enough.
That's enough. But they've got the original doll from, the original puppet from Saw. He was there, yeah, I saw him yesterday in the flesh. There was like a human skull in there that you could hold, and mannequins of nuns and like haunted dolls there. And then in the middle, there was a signed football top from David Beckham.
Amazing.
and a signed picture of Tom Jones. So I was like,
it was a haunted Tom Jones film?
You never know.
Yeah.
Haunted by the green grass of home.
Yeah, it's not unusual. Yeah. I wonder what a Welsh Museum of Curiosity or a haunted Welsh museum would be quite funny, wouldn't it? You have the Mary Floyd, wouldn't you? It's quite scary.
It's a niche there, Mr. Irv in the corner.
Yeah, Mr. Yeah. He's
spinning, doing backflip.
Yeah, head turn around, yeah. He'd be another one. I couldn't go near Mr.
Oh,
Irv.
yeah.
He'd be a mascot, see?
But yeah, the Jigsaw puppet, the way, you know, he comes in, and I feel it's a very clever film, the Saw kind of franchise, and it's so recognizable now as well now. Like, hey, want to play a game? No chance. Piss off.
Booted.
Yeah.
You and E.T.
You and E.T. off, mate. But it's very psychological. You know, it's there's a reason for the kind of games. They're all people that need to be taught the value of life. They've all got like their backgrounds, and one of the main guys cheating on his wife, and the other woman's a drug addict, and so he's doing it to show them that the kind of purpose of life, and it's very psychological, kind of the storyline. But I rewatched it, and the shots are quite 2000s, quite naughty.
It's quite low budget, isn't
low
it?
budget. It's in the room, you know. It's hasn't got a lot of special effects, and the scene that sticks out for me was the reverse bear trap when the woman's got the trap on her, and it's her soulmate apparently on the floor. The guy that she's got to get the key out of his stomach and kill him to get the bear trap off her head, and she's got like a minute, but the shots pan round and spin round and kind of shoot from that angle, and you can sense the anxiety. It makes you feel anxious because you can feel the minute kind of slipping away from you. So I kind of like that it makes you feel a bit anxious.
It's like a 90s sort of music video, isn't it?
Yeah. You spin me right round. But those kind of shots where it makes you as the viewer feel that kind of intense anxiety, I think is really clever. And then the kind of twist at the end with the patient. But there was little Easter eggs as well during the film where when he's in the hospital bed, he draws the bear trap.
Yes, yeah,
and he's got the X.
John Kramer.
But you can only if you rewatch it back and you can look out for it, you can see. So I just thought it was very cleverly done, and they've built a whole franchise now with a puppet. It was very gory and creepy, but then it had this kind of psychological side behind it. So that's the one that sticks out for me.
Can you take me back and maybe just like I love that you watched it at a sleepover.
At a sleepover.
Do you remember that? What was that like?
I think it was my birthday sleepover. I had my belly button pierced the next day. It was.
Did that put you off?
No, because you're with all your friends and you're trying to like act hard.
Yeah,
so you're all watching
Sticks
it.
on, yeah.
Yeah, eating your popcorn, kind of like hiding.
Yeah.
Hiding. But I enjoy watching like a film or a series where you're kind of watching it behind your hands and I find it really fascinating, all the kind of action of being scared, and even though you're tormenting yourself, you kind of watch.
Well, you're kind of in control of it, aren't you? To an extent? Yeah. Because I remember my first time watching Saw was at, I think it was like a family friend's house, and I think this just shows maybe like naughty's parenting quite well. Is that they were like, oh, we'll put the kids in one room and just stick the telly on.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, Saw's on. And I just remember watching Saw, maybe like way too young to watch it. And I think that like that's something the iPad generation has maybe missed, is like the joy of unsupervised TV time. Fantastic.
My dad bought me the South Park. Have you seen the South Park movie?
Yeah.
My dad bought me the South Park movie when I was about 8 or 9 because he just saw the box set and was like, oh, cartoons, yeah. And I remember I watched it first.
Yeah.
I watched it upstairs on my TV first. And I was like, I'm not watching this with a parent because anyway. Yeah. You know what happens.
Yeah. Did he ask you to say, oh?
He was like, oh, should we watch that film now? And I was like, oh, I got a bad stomach. Sorry, I'm going to bed.
No, don't worry about it. I like how you just did a bit of like pre-research. I just screamed.
Just going to watch it first and then I had no chance because it's just quite rude as well. But he knows what it is now, and he's like, bloody hell, I wouldn't have bought you that if I knew. That's
the great thing though, isn't it? It's just like, we were chatting about this before, is like, when you used to go to the shop and you buy a DVD, it's like that was just, you had the little blurb on the back and a couple of photos, and that was your window into that film, and you were just kind of it was a bit lucky dip to an extent, wasn't it? Like what you would get.
Yeah, it's mad how different it is now. Like you'd look, when I was younger, I'd look at the CD cover, and if that looked good, I'd be like, I'm watching that. Whereas on Netflix nowadays, I'm like reading the blurb and, you know.
Yeah, no.
But because you'd paid for that DVD, you'd watch it till the end.
Yeah.
Because I feel nowadays on like watching like digital stuff, if I don't like it, I'm like off.
Yeah.
So it's a different world now.
Going back to Saw, so the premise of Saw, isn't it, is that these two guys wake up in a room together. Jigsaw comes in, there's a tape recorder, they play the recorder, and they've got to do these tasks in order to survive. Looking at the kind of format of a Saw film, what would be, for you, the worst Saw trap?
Oh, not talking for 5 minutes, having to sit in silence.
Yeah. So Jigsaw would come in.
Jigsaw would come in on his little bike, like his little non-spike.
And then he'd press the recording, and it'd be like, Katie, your challenge is not to speak for 1 minute.
1 minute. What? You are, sorry. So walking into a room, they're all mannequins of E.T. Just all in like a
ring.
A ring of E.T. So having that anxiety with the ETs in the room, an army of E.T. And then I think the bear trap is the one that stuck with me because it's the quick timing. And I've got really shaky hands just day to day. So I'd be trying to get the key out and then having to get the key out of someone who loves stomach as well with E.T. watching you.
With E.T. watching you. E.T. just added level of difficulty.
My head would fall up my ass. I couldn't.
Really, it'd be worse if E.T. was the one on the bike coming in.
I just combust.
Yeah.
If aliens took over the world, please no, I would just combust. I wouldn't cope.
But I think you would be actually quite a good, you know, in these alien invasion films when they send like the president of the United States or like an ambassador to the alien, I think you'd be the perfect person.
Why?
Because you'd be very hardball with them. You'd just be like, fuck off.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out. I'll nuke you.
Nuke them.
I'll nuke your planet. No, I don't know what I'd do. They terrify me.
Yeah.
So what's the film Signs? Have you seen that?
Signs is, with Joaquin Phoenix, and that's the one where they...
On the baby talk about
yeah.
No chance.
And have you watched any, after watching that first Saw film, obviously there's like a million Saws now. Did you keep...
I kept watching them, yeah. Like, I watched so many, it was a dark period of my life. I watched so many horror films that they all kind of merged into one. But that's the one that, because I think it's such a recognizable franchise, the puppet, the kind of, the quote. Yeah, it really sticks with me. Saw's
one of those films I again, weirdly would always be like put on when I went over someone's house.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing, it was always like we'd flick through the channels. It'd be like and you'd flick off when it was like all the boring bits in between, then you flick off. You could come back to it when it was all the horrible stuff. But
what one sticks with you?
I gotta say, there's one where a guy's got his fingers, and he has to break all of his fingers in order to get out. That one absolutely, still to this day makes me squeamish.
And even the thought of having to cut your own foot off to get out of the...
Yeah, I think I could do that. Maybe. No. Dav, do you think you could do that? No.
Not in them shoes.
He's got the Birkenstocks on.
Slide them off. Yeah. I'm already there.
I have a mate who got really into the Saw films, and he works night shifts, and he watched every single Saw film over a night shift, which I think is mental, because it's in a way it's almost
self-harm.
It's almost a Saw film in itself. It's like you are tasked to watch every single Saw film.
Is he okay now?
He's okay. Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But,
I don't like animatronics either. The animatronic Nightmare at Freddy's or something.
Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Have you played the video game of it?
No.
I didn't realize it was a jump scare. So you're pretending to be the warden, not in this restaurant. And I was like, oh, I'll play this. Looks good. Immediate jump scare. Nah, off.
Unplug. Upstairs with E.T. In there.
He's still in the house. I think he's in my mother's wardrobe. I don't know why she loves him so much. Yeah.
And that would have been your heirloom then. So at some point that could be passed on to you.
He's my sister's now. I said, I don't want him.
Okay, that's
I'll have to say, I'll find him one day and put a picture up of him, because he's stiff and he sits up like that. And his eyes are big blue.
Big blue glass eyes.
Yeah, I just don't understand it.
It's terrible.
Not for me.
I feel like I can't tell you my opinion on E.T.
You like him. You love him.
I don't love E.T. I think, do I like E.T.? I've only ever seen E.T. once, to be honest, which is like over Christmas when you
just chuck it on, yeah.
It's on like ITV 2+1 or something, and you see like a bit of it. I've never seen it all the way through as a film.
You don't want to.
I never will now. Yeah.
No, even the basket on the bike gives me like the ick.
I would imagine the bit that would freak you out the most was when isn't he dressed as a woman at one point?
Yeah.
They put like a pair of. He's got eyelashes and like a wig. I remember.
Oh yeah.
Have I made that up?
No. I remember now. Yeah.
And is there any horror films that you've watched recently, or like you obviously watched Saw for the first time for your birthday. Did you go back and watch it again later on?
Birthday.
For your birthday.
Treat yourself, honey. Yeah. Go on, check.
Yeah. To be fair, you could have had like 10 years of Saw films, couldn't you? You could have one every birthday.
One every birthday, yeah. I mainly watch now series.
Okay.
I just watched the Ed Gein series on Netflix, which is bizarre.
Is it good? Because I've only seen the TikTok kind of like memes about it, not the actual series yet.
It's really good. It gave me nightmares. But the fact that it's a true story, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and American Psycho are all based off him.
Right, yeah.
So
does he wear like a human face mask?
So he digs up dead bodies, and he would like make belts out of human skin and chairs and stuff. And
sort of like an Etsy store.
Yeah, yeah. Little Etsy store.
Yeah.
And he would wear like their faces and stuff. So it's mental, but it's a true story. So watching that, it's a bit strange. Watching that, that's the latest one I've watched, and I was like,
does he have like is a specific voice, isn't it? Because it's Charlie Hunnam, who's obviously like this quite sexy sort of like leading man, and he's sort of this weird.
He sounds a bit like Mickey. He's like, Mama says I can't talk to Jezebels. He goes, I didn't mean nothing by it.
It's kind of like a very evil Forrest Gump. Like,
yeah.
Forrest Gump if he didn't find Jenna.
It is, yeah. It's, but that's the most recent thing I've watched that sticks out. And then I just like crime documentaries. Cecil Hotel I've watched recently.
Where she goes missing.
Yeah. That's the main thing I tend to watch, crime documentaries. Not because I love crime. I don't enjoy the fact that it's happened. I find the thought process of how someone could do that to someone else just boggles my mind. Like if I even step on a snail, I'm like mortified and devastated. So the fact that someone could do that to another human being, and the fact that evil exists out there, and the kind of, I find it so obnoxious and rude. that someone would take someone else's life. Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah, unless it's ET.
Unless it's ET, then it's understandable. But yeah, the whole kind of thought process behind it, who do you think you are doing that to someone else and taking the most precious thing on earth, their life? So I find all the mental side of it fascinates me. And also you've got to be prepared.
So someone was telling me this. So they were saying that they watch a lot of like true crime things, almost as like a research, not to do it, not to do it, but as in that, okay, I'm not going to do that. Like you're not going to stay at the Cecil Hotel, for example.
No,
you know.
No, definitely. So that's why I watch them all. And it's mad nowadays as well that we kind of get desensitized to gore and human bodies.
That's like kind of like the era of like completely unsupervised internet time.
Yeah.
Just so you could do what you want.
Like that's meant, if I had a child and they would,
yeah.
What's wrong with us all? Why did we do all that?
So you went to the Museum of Curiosities in Nottingham.
Yes.
Do you want to do more like scary tourism? Is that something?
I've done loads.
What have you done?
So I went to the Museum of Death in LA. Have you been to that one?
I've not.
You've
no,
not?
No.
So me and my friend walked in. We're both 5'3" blonde from Wales. We were both wearing pink. And the guy on the desk was like, hey, if you get too scared and you can't go around, you can't get a refund. So we were like, we're from Merthyr. Like, what are you on about? We're fine. I used to live in the Gurnos, so we're fine.
This is walking in the park. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had like long dark hair. And we went in. It was nothing on the Museum of Curiosities. It was just crime scene pictures, which isn't nice to see. But when you've grown up seeing horror films and that kind of stuff, you're kind of walking around. There wasn't any mannequins there either, thankfully. So I was like, piece of piss.
Yeah.
There's also somewhere called Little Dean Jail. Have you heard of that?
No. Is that in this country?
Yes, it's in the Forest of Dean, so it's not too Gloucester way, is it? It's got some really unhinged stuff there, but it's also got mannequins. So it's an old prison. It's definitely haunted, really creepy. And he's turned the prison cells into rooms with these artifacts. And then he's got like a shovel Fred and Rose West used. Charles Bronson sends him stuff. It's disgusting.
That's wild.
But they've also got the only quadrophenia exhibition in the back. So I went there when I was younger because I wanted to see the quadrophenia exhibition. But you've got to go through this museum.
That's wild. Sure, there's like a weird mix of mods and then like mental people at the same time.
I don't understand the kind of why they're together. So I wanted to go to this museum of the quadrophenia. They've got the bike there. They've got all like the mods kind of 60s things. They've got like a Liam Gallagher sign thing in the back. But you've got to go through this museum of just horrible items and mannequins with the items. And that's the most mental, that's the most horrible place I've ever been. Yeah, and I'm trying to think what else they had there. They had like murder weapons that had been used from UK serial killers.
Where'd you buy those from? I always wondered.
I'm just wondering, like, why is this guy collecting them? But they do like paranormal tours there as well. And I don't know if I believe in all that, but I felt a bit.
Felt the energy.
But I don't know if that was the mannequins looking at you.
Yeah, were the quadrophenia mannequins?
In mods, parkas and stuff, yeah, a bit of gazelles in the back. But yeah, you had to get through to go to the quadrophenia bit. And the fact they're in prison cells too, very creepy. And
have you've never gone ghost hunting then? You've never done like...
I went on a ghost tour of St. Fagans.
That's the most Welsh thing ever.
Yeah. Last year with my mother.
Yeah.
And it was creepy, but I think... Because it was Welsh ghosts.
Yeah.
I was a bit like, what's happening, son, right? No, because it was in St. Fagans and I've kind of grown up there and it was dark. You know, they were doing it to heighten your kind of emotions and make it more intense. And it was scary, but I think after going to the Little Dean Jail and the bloody Museum of Death in LA, I was like, this is nothing. This is nothing.
I feel like St. Fagans is one of those experiences that everyone who grows up... Did you go to St. Fagans in school?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just sort of like you get the trinity of Big Pit, St. Fagans, and then maybe like West Wales.
What was the Llangrannog?
This is quite a funny family story. My granddad used to be a miner back in the 60s.
Same.
I know this is a classic South Wales story.
Very Welsh,
yeah. Very Welsh. And so it became a rite of passage. So what would happen is that he'd always want to go down Big Pit. right, and with me. And I went down there and he spent, the whole thing is that the big pit is run by ex-miners, isn't it? So you go down there and the miners...
It's quite scary down there as well.
It is scary.
And when you got to hold the door as a child.
Oh, the draft door. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So already quite a terrifying, kind of scary experience. So you go down there and obviously it's being run by ex-miners who tell you these facts of what life was like. And this is what it was like in here and blah, blah, blah. My granddad spent the entire time fact-checking the miners. So about 15 minutes into the tour, the guy would be like, yeah, so Ebony, this is what it was like. No, it wasn't.
Oh,
no, it wasn't like that at all. I was there. And in the end, this guy just cracked and he was just like, I can't do this anymore. And my granddad ended up taking the tour.
That's so funny.
For the rest of the thing, because this guy was like, I just can't be bothered to argue with this belligerent man.
Was he an ex-miner himself?
Yeah. So they were just like...
Having a little miner off.
Miner off, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is then maybe was it like 7 years later, my sister's younger than me, and my granddad goes, but she goes, granddad's taking me down Big Pit. I was like, have a good time. Enjoy. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, no, enjoy it. Comes back, you spent the entire time fact-checking the miner. I bet they just see him like, oh God, it's him again. He's going to come back and just fact-check us for the entire time.
They probably got his picture behind the scenes.
Polaroided behind the thing, do not let this
beware
man.
this man. Bless him, that's so funny.
But it was just such a South Walian thing, sort of like, I'm gonna out-miner you.
That's
not like that at all.
It wasn't. No, it was worse. It is mad though, like the fact that they did that, like mental that they just didn't care.
Yeah, it was just sort of
part of life.
Yeah, sort of chill with it, and it was sort of just a job, isn't it? So working at Asda or something, and it's just something. It was just your life.
It was such manual labor. You had to be so strong to do it. Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it for that long. I'd be a crap miner.
Yeah, I mean, it's too dark down here, and I watch too many horror films.
Can I go home now? No,
I'm getting night terrors.
Yeah, I saw Saul last night. I can't come in here.
I saw E.T.'s face.
Yeah. So back to St. Fagans. So you went on the St. Fagans ghost tour. Not that scary, because in your head, was it like these ghosts are just going to be local ghosts and I can sort of deal with that?
And I think because we used to go to St. Fagans as kids in primary school, for me, St. Fagans is like a nostalgic, safe place.
Right.
So maybe if it was someone I didn't know, I might have got frightened. But the fact it was in somewhere nostalgic and, I've had good memories and I grew up going to, and I was with my mother as well. So if I went on my own to somewhere in America or something, I would have been frightened. But
have you been to Scared Inn?
No, what's that?
So Scared Inn is the UK's most haunted pub, and it's just outside Abergavenny. And it's like, so the story goes is they used to hang people in there. So it'd be when, they'd convict them of crimes in a court, and the court would be in the pub, and then they'd loop over the beam and they'd hang them.
And just have a pint when they were.
Have a pint, yeah. So you can go there now and you can still see the beam in which they hung people off.
Really?
Yeah, it's just really haunted.
I did go, right? I felt, the place I felt really creeped out was of Mametz Woods in France. They had the big Welsh kind of presence there, and they got the big Welsh monument, the statue there. And there's a Welsh graveyard there of all the soldiers, and apparently it was very brutal. They were kind of essentially running to their death up the hill because they were just German machine guns shooting down at them from the woods. And that's the one place that I felt really uncomfortable. And I walked up towards the woods, just didn't go into the woods, just walked up. And I don't know if I believe in anything like spirits or ghosts or entities, but that's the one place that I felt a chill. And I had to get back in the car because I didn't feel, it just felt very uneasy there.
Yeah, there's a presence there.
And with all the history there, I just thought, something's not right here. Yeah. But the amount of death that must have happened there and then the brutality of it.
It's mad, isn't it, really? When you go to those spaces. I think because I'm a similar thing where I'm not massively, superstitious, yeah. But I think there's certain places, isn't it, where there's such thing. Again, it might be sort of
energies and
but you go there and you think, geez, this is heavy. It's a heaviness in the air, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's really hard.
It was very intense.
And are you planning more? Do you want to investigate the paranormal further? Do you think?
Yes. Yeah, I find it all very, really intriguing. My great-grandmother used to do Ouija boards.
Really?
Yeah. And my grandmother now, she's a strong Christian, but it was her mother. And she grew up in the house with Ouija boards being performed. And she said she'd feel like she'd see like dark entities and feel spirits and stuff. And none of my father doesn't believe in ghosts, my grandfather didn't. At my great-grandmother's funeral, and this is genuine truth, when they were reading the hymn sheets, my grandfather on my dad's side, so my grandmother's on my mother's side, when they were doing the hymn sheets, a drop of blood fell on his hymn sheet.
In the church?
In the church. I swear down.
Jeez.
And he doesn't believe in anything like that. And even my dad said, like, and apparently the church door swung shut or swung open. He's trying to say now it was a bird.
Spooky bird.
He reckons it was a bird now because he's thing, but yeah, a drop of blood fell on the hymn sheet at his funeral.
That's a horror film, Katie. Come on.
I know, no wonder I'm so mental. So I would like to kind of explore all that kind of side.
Yeah.
As long as nothing attaches itself to me.
Yeah.
Because
you haven't got time for demon.
I ain't got time for demon. No, real people are bad enough, let alone the dead. My grandfather used to say, "Fear the living, not the dead." So that kind of helped me with the night terrors and stuff.
It'd be a massive pain in the ass, really, if you had like you were sort of possessed or you had like.
I couldn't be asked for it.
Yeah, pop down the pub. Really sorry, guys.
I don't know. Well, I'd actually blame that because I'm a nuisance when I'm drunk. So I'm like, sorry, I was possessed. My great grandmother come down and.
Possessed by the soul of a 15th century nun. I'm really sorry, guys.
But it's funny when you think of it. Like when you think of ghosts and spirits, you always imagine them as Victorians. You don't imagine them in like a pair of like Nike Air Max, do you?
Yeah. like a 1980s ghost would be pretty good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like in a shell suit.
Yeah, you the same. Like you don't imagine them as in the pair of Nike, like a shell suit or a Harrington or something. You think of like the Victorian era, long robes, nun kind of attire.
Because that'll be it for the future. Maybe future horror films, their ghosts will be period accurate. So it'll be like, you know.
Just us right now in a bit of sambas.
Vaping behind them.
Yeah, that's ooh.
Someone's moved my vape.
Ooh. I need a pint after this now. A bit frightened.
Yeah. Well, Katie, thank you so much for coming on. I feel like we've ran the gamut of E.T., mascots, Disneyland.
Everything in between.
We did talk about Saw in a roundabout sort of way, but I think that's maybe the best way to do it, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you for listening to First Frights. That was my interview with Katie Owen. If you want to follow and support the podcast, find us on Patreon.